All right, Stump My Nephew, everybody's favorite segment. We got a really great question for Sam today. By the way, if you have a trivia question that has to do with guns, gun history, military history, or ammo or function, anything that has to do with guns, email us. And if we use it on the air, you get a hat or shirt. If you Stump My Nephew, you'll get a special prize. Sam, how's it going?
I'm well. How are you guys?
Fantastical. I think this is a good question. I like this question. It's got all the right ingredients, I think. Let's see how it goes. What do you say, Alicia? We flipped a coin and you lost, so you have to ask the question.
What a punishment. All right, I'm ready. Are you ready, Sam?
I hope so.
All right. So our question today, it's a little different. So let's make it happen. So your question is, actually, before I read it, where's it from?
This is from Fred in Oceanside.
All right. So Fred in Oceanside asks, in 1939, it was decided that a second company other than Colt should be able to make 1911s. What company was given a contract to make 500 of them?
Fred from Oceanside, thanks very much for writing in. I had been under the impression that most of California is on the side of the ocean, but here I go learning something. It was, what was the year, did he say? 1939, a second company?
Correct.
What's that?
1939, correct.
1939, a second company was awarded a contract for 1911s. So very fortuitous timing there, because the U.S. would, of course, enter the Second World War 2 years later. And, the war started in 1939. So by the time the U.S. entered, the Europeans had already been fighting it for about a year and 3 months or so. So what company made 500 1911s? I know of a company that made 500 1911s. I don't know if this is the same company, because he said it would, like, the way the question is phrased implies it's either a test batch or low rate initial production, but I'm feeling Singer sewing machines, because I know they made 500 of them, and that's the number specified, and that's too coincidental to be a coincidence. So I feel like Singer probably, this is just me guessing here. I saw Alicia chuckling, so I'm pretty sure that's right.
Why don't we play the video? We actually have a video answer
Singer
for
delivered
this.
the pistols. The government decided they weren't good enough, or they didn't need them or something, and so they stopped. That's my guess.
Okay, let's watch the video.
Watch the video.
Back in 1939, they made 500 1911s. Singer is obviously a sewing machine company, very successful, but World War II was just brewing over there in Europe, and Roosevelt kind of felt like he could keep us out of the war this time, so he wanted to be the armorer of the free world. So the decision is made by somebody in the Defense Department to say, we need two sources for every major weapon. Colt, at that time, was the only one making them. So they made a proposal for those who wanted to get into the arms business, and Singer came forward and said, hey, we'd like to try. So they were given a contract to make 500 of the 1911 A1s. They had to completely retool. That took a while. And they came out with a product that looked like this. Obviously, a beautiful 1911 A1, and extremely valuable. Even today, they just keep rising in value. Now, you notice right away that it just looks nicer, but there's a lot more to it. It has closer tolerances. It's really well built, and the finish is just absolutely perfect. You see a lot less millwork. This is a blued finish. This is a Parkerized finish, which has nothing to do with the quality of the gun. But in fact, when we say they were punished for doing the right thing, they really weren't, because they made these so well that the Army said, great job, but we're not going to extend your contract. That seems like an odd thing to say. Instead, they say, we need you for a more detailed technical work. They were able to go and find other companies to make the 1911, such as Remington made them during the war, and Ithaca, also Union Switch and Signal, and then, of course, Colt. Instead of saying they lost that contract, they actually got many more contracts for more intricate technical items, such as airplane parts, propellers in particular. But the most important and the super secret thing that they did was the Norden bomb sight. Interestingly, they also made the parachutes, sewing machines, think parachutes, and also receivers for the M1 carbine. So Singer, even though they lost the contract after making 500 of these beauties, in the end, they had a significant outcome in the victory in Europe.
There you go. I wonder how many of those 500 still actually exist. I hope all of them. I wonder if
There's no way they all exist. That's
yeah,
crazy.
I know that would be crazy, but I knew they had a number of M1 carbines that were Singers. So there you go, man. You nailed it. You got it, Singer.
Well, I got the reason wrong, but again, that was just a guess. So as soon as you said 500, I was like, it's got to be Singer.
How did you know that? How did you pick up that information?
It's the same way I pick up most of this information. It's just a factoid that I read in a book somewhere that just stuck in there for whatever reason. I don't get to choose what sticks, but I can at least try to put it to use.
All right. Anything you have to promote? Anything coming up, or anything you want to talk about?
Yeah, I have a blog post that went up this past Monday, talking about the NRA annual meeting, or talking about the exhibition floor side of NRAM, because it's really a complicated event. But I got to walk the floor during the show. As you know, you sent me out and said, go do man on the street reporting. So yes. I tried my level best to do that. And I saw some really pretty interesting products out there that I write about in this post.
What's one in particular that you enjoyed seeing?
Well, I'll actually tell you one that isn't in the blog post, and that is these, I forget the name of the company, but they're these ball and socket joint pistol grips and monopods, so that you can orient the pistol grip or the foregrip on your rifle. And these seem to be intended for precision rifle shooters who really want to get the absolute best ergonomics behind their guns they possibly can. You unlock the grip and you set it to exactly what angle in 3 dimensions you want for your firing hand. Then you lock it down and it stays there. So you can set up kind of like a boxing grip setup on a long gun. And I thought that was really cool. That's not something that's covered in the post because I didn't think it was one of the most out and out impressive products there, but it just goes to show you there are lots of smaller companies at all these trade shows. NRAM SHOT is like this as well, from what I've heard, that are making really cool, innovative stuff that that you don't see from the big names, Springfield and Palmetto and Ruger and all of those.
Great. All right, cool. Well, look forward to it. Everybody read it, check it out. Go to gunownersradio.com/blog, and you'll be able to see all that.
I know it's not relevant anymore because we've totally changed the topic, but to go back to the Singer thing for a second, you were asking how many still exist, and I found some interesting info. Obviously, don't know if any of this is true. This is just people on the internet talking, but it says that fewer than 250 exist, and apparently there's a pretty lucrative kind of market for fakes, and so across the country, there are over 2,000 of these supposed original 500 being sold on the internet and at gun shows and things like that. So they're cautioning folks to make sure that it's actually real, because there are some very good fakes out there. And a legitimate one just recently sold for over $400,000. So they're pretty expensive if you can find an original one. But if you go to a gun show and they have an original one in a case, it's probably not an original one.
So there's interesting. I found actually some criteria to know if what you're looking at is a legit Singer 1911. It's going to have a serial number, and it's got a specific series beginning with S8, 4 zeros, 1, all the way through S8, 00500. So look at the serial number first. Would be a good place to start.
All right. So if you're looking for an original, it's like trying to find a sewing needle in a haystack, right?
Pretty much.
Yeah. I guess they're pretty awesome if you can see one in person. They look very pristine. Some of the ones that are still out there, which is cool. Thinking that something as old as World War II was saved and protected for this long is pretty neat.
Yeah. Well, cool. Thanks, Sam. Appreciate it, man. We'll check out your blog, and thanks for nailing the Stump My Nephew.
Thanks for having me on, as always.
All right, man. See ya.
See ya.
So when you're using it on your firearms, because it takes about 3 cleanings, so I like to say it's a clean shoot, clean shoot process, much like seasoning a cast iron skillet. So you're going to field strip your firearm, break it down, and then you're going to put our product on piece by piece by piece, covering the entire firearm. Then you're going to take the barrel, you're going to clean the barrel inside of that, and then you come back and you wipe it all off, and you're done. It's that easy. Remember, seal one and done.
If you liked that segment, be sure to give us a like, a comment, and go to youtube.com/gunownersradio and subscribe to our channel. Be sure to share us with a friend. Every view counts.